If you've ever wondered where the road less traveled leads, tonight's tale might just curb your appetite for curiosity. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon, my dear fright seekers, as we embark down the Last Supper on Harper's Lane. In the shadow-draped corners of the city, where the neon glow of signs fought against the encroaching darkness, Eli's sedan cruised with an ease born of countless hours behind the wheel. The night was a companion Eli had long since become accustomed to, its silence a backdrop to the symphony of his thoughts. Interspersed with the occasional crackle of his car radio, his life, much like the well-worn routes he navigated, was a series of predictable patterns and routines, delivering meals to those who sought the comfort of food in the solitude of the night. Eli's connection to the city was intimate, each street holding memories, each turn a story untold. He prided himself on his efficiency, a silent guardian of the night's hunger, moving from one delivery to the next with practiced ease. Yet beneath the surface of his calm demeanor, a restlessness stirred, a longing for something beyond the endless maze of concrete and shadow. It was on a night, indistinguishable from any other, that Eli's phone chimed with a series of delivery requests, each pointing him towards Harper's Lane. The name alone sent a ripple of unease through him. Harper's Lane was spoken of in hushed tones, a place that seemed to exist in the margins of the city's consciousness, a remnant of a past that refused to be forgotten. Rumored to be haunted, it was a road that many avoided after sunset, its stories a collection of urban legends that no one could quite confirm nor deny. Driven by a mix of curiosity and the lure of unusually high tips, Eli found himself steering his sedan towards the fabled Harper's Lane. The city's vibrant life faded behind him, giving way to a quiet that felt almost otherworldly. Streetlights flickered and dimmed, as if guiding him towards his destination. When the clock struck midnight, the lane revealed itself, shrouded in mist and mystery. At the heart of Harper's Lane stood a diner, its presence an anachronism against the modern backdrop of the city. With its neon sign flickering weakly, the diner beckoned Eli with a sense of inevitability. Parking his sedan, he could not shake the feeling of having stepped into a threshold between worlds. The diner's interior was a step back in time, its decor reminiscent of a bygone era where jukeboxes played melodies of the past and the air was tinged with the aroma of coffee and fried food. The patrons, an eclectic assembly of individuals, were clothed in fashions spanning decades, their conversations a blend of accents and dialects that hinted at origins both far and near. Eli moved among them, an outsider drawn into their world, delivering orders with a growing sense of displacement. Each table told its own story, a glimpse into lives that seemed to have been lived in the shadows of history. The diner, for all its quaint charm, held an undercurrent of something deeper, a sense of stories intersecting and diverging within its walls. As the night progressed, Eli's initial apprehension gave way to fascination. Harper's Lane, with its spectral diner and its timeless patrons, offered a glimpse into the unknown. Yet beneath the allure lay an unsettling truth, the realization that he was standing at the crossroads of reality and myth, his role in the night's tale yet to be fully revealed. With every delivery, Eli felt the fabric of his understanding stretch and warp. The diner was more than a mere eatery. It was a nexus, a place where the veils between worlds thinned and the past and present melded in the dim glow of its interior. What began as a routine night had unfolded into an odyssey, steering Eli towards a destiny that would challenge the very essence of his being. As Eli delved deeper into the enigmatic world of the diner, each visit peeled away layers of the ordinary, revealing a tapestry rich with the extraordinary. The diner, a beacon in the twilight of Harper's Lane, became a sanctuary for those whose stories were etched in the shadows of the past. With every order delivered, Eli became a silent witness to tales that spanned the breadth of human experience. Each patron, a vessel of histories, both grand and inconsequential. The atmosphere inside the diner was a curious blend of nostalgia and melancholy, the air thick with the aroma of coffee and the undercurrents of 1,000 untold stories. The patrons, seemingly plucked from different decades, shared their narratives in snippets over meals that tasted of memories. Eli found himself drawn to these stories, each one adding a stitch to the fabric of the mystery that the diner wove around him. It was in the nuances of these interactions that Eli began to sense the diner's true nature. Conversations often touched upon deliveries and journeys, but with a twist. These were not the mundane trips across the city that Eli knew so well, but voyages that spanned time and space, hinting at the diner's role as a crossroads for souls adrift between epochs. One evening, a conversation with a woman dressed in the fashion of the 1940s revealed the depth of the diner's enigma. She spoke of waiting for a delivery that would never come, her story a poignant echo of loss and longing, tethered to a world that had long since moved on without her. It was moments like these that began to unravel the fabric of Eli's understanding, each story a thread in the complex weave of the diner's existence. The revelation came on a night when the diner seemed to pulse with an unseen energy, the air charged with anticipation. Eli discovered a wall adorned with photographs, each capturing a moment frozen in time. The faces were those of the diner's patrons, their expressions a mixture of joy, sorrow, and something indefinably eternal. Among these faces, Eli found his own, staring back at him from a photograph that he had no memory of taking. The shock of recognition was a jolt to his system, a visceral connection to the diner and its patrons that he could no longer deny. This discovery was the key that unlocked the truth of the diner's purpose. It was more than a place of rest for weary travelers. It was a liminal space for those caught in the twilight between life and the beyond, a haven for souls unable to move on from their earthly attachments. Eli's presence among the photographed patrons marked him as part of this spectral congregation, his own story intertwined with the diner's timeless vigil. Confronted with the horrifying truth, Eli realized that the diner was not merely a backdrop to his nightly deliveries, but a pivotal point in his own journey. The patrons, with their stories of deliveries and unending waits, were mirrors to his soul, each reflecting a facet of the choice that lay before him, to remain a part of the diner's eternal midnight, or to find a path back to the living world. Eli's quest for understanding had brought him to the precipice of an abyss, the diner a bridge between the known and the unknowable, challenging him to confront the essence of his own existence. The diner, once a place of curious intrigue, now loomed over him like a crossroads of fate, its neon sign a beacon calling to those adrift between worlds. The weight of his discovery pressed upon him with each visit, the faces of the patrons, echoes of lives suspended in time, staring back with a familiarity that tugged at the very core of his being. It was during one of these nocturnal visits, under the heavy silence that blanketed the diner, that Eli found himself drawn into a fateful encounter with its enigmatic owner. This figure, known only as the Keeper, was as much a part of the diner as the aged wallpaper or the gleaming counter. With a demeanor that oscillated between warmth and inscrutability, the Keeper had always been a constant in the backdrop of Eli's deliveries, watching the ebb and flow of the diner's patrons with eyes that seemed to pierce through the veils of time. The conversation that unfolded between Eli and the Keeper was a delicate dance around truths too vast and bewildering for words. The Keeper spoke of the diner not just as a haven for lost souls, but as a fulcrum upon which the balance between the mortal coil and the eternal rested. The photographs on the wall, including Eli's, were not mere mementos but anchors, tethering the subjects to the diner's liminal space, caught in the purgatory of their own making. Faced with the prospect of becoming another permanent fixture within the diner's walls, Eli's desperation clawed its way to the surface. It was then that the keeper offered him a bargain, a chance to sever the ties that bound him to this place between places. The task was deceptively simple. Deliver a final package, one that carried with it the weight of redemption and sacrifice. The package, an unmarked box of nondescript appearance, was to be Eli's last delivery, a journey that would take him to the very edges of his understanding and beyond. The terms of the bargain were shrouded in ambiguity, the consequences of the delivery left unspoken, but the implication was clear. Success would grant Eli his release from the diner's grasp, while failure would cement his place among the eternal patrons of the diner. Armed with the package and a resolve born of desperation, Eli set out into the night, the city's streets unfolding before him with a new sense of purpose. His destination, revealed by the keeper in hushed tones, was none other than his own address, a twist of fate that sent a chill down his spine. The journey back to his starting point was a reflective odyssey. Each mile traveled a step through his own past, a confrontation with the choices that had led him to this precipice. As Eli stood before his own door, the weight of the package in his hands felt like the sum of all his fears and hopes. The act of delivery, once a routine task, was now a ritual imbued with the power to alter the course of his existence. The moment was a nexus, a point of convergence where past and future hung in the balance, and Eli, standing on the threshold of his own life, was the key to unlocking the chains of his own making. As Eli awoke, the world outside seemed transformed, infused with a new light that transcended the mere rising of the sun. The enigmatic Harper's Lane had vanished, replaced by a path unmarked yet brimming with possibilities. This change in the cityscape mirrored the profound shift within Eli himself. Delivering the mysterious package to his younger self had altered his life's trajectory, weaving the fabric of reality into a tapestry rich with potential and redemption. The diner and its spectral patrons now existed as distant memories, phantoms of a journey that had reshaped Eli's understanding of existence. Yet, the lessons it imparted of choices, consequences, and the possibility of renewal remained. Eli now saw the city and its inhabitants with new eyes, each face a story of paths diverging and converging, each moment an opportunity for change. Freed from the diner's grasp, Eli's perception of time, purpose, and connection was irrevocably altered. He stepped into the day not just as a survivor of the night's odyssey, but as a bearer of its truths. The diner, a crucible of his darkest fears and brightest hopes, had shown him that redemption and change are not only possible, but within reach, transforming his return to the world as a testament to the power of second chances. As Eli's tale weaves into the fabric of the night, one can't help but wonder what other mysteries Harper's Lane might hold. If you've ever stood at your own crossroads, poised to make a life-altering choice, share your story in the comments below. But our journey through the shadows is far from over. There are countless tales still lurking in the darkness, waiting to be told. Fright fans, click next for more chills and hit subscribe to join our ghastly gang. You see, who dares to miss out, so watch our next video.